Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Institution again. So Cloud Institution is the best software training institutions. So today, as part of Azure Devops series, we're going to see another important concept, that is projects and repositories. Okay, so in the last video we're going to see, we have seen that what is Azure organization, and today in this video we're going to see about what is projects and repositories. Okay, so in the last video we also seen that so what is the tree structure of the organizations. Okay, so let's say for example, if this is organization, okay, so this is org. Okay, so it's an organization, and under that we'll be having multiple projects. Okay, so let's say for example it's a project one and project two, and in between, inside that you'll be able to create the multiple repositories. Okay, so now what is multiple repositories? In the last video we have seen, okay, so we have like this. Okay, the structure looks like this. Right. Okay, so we can see like what is this is the project one and project two. Okay, so this is repo one and repo two. Okay, so here again repo one and repo two. All right. Okay, now what are we going to see is that so we're going to create this particular structure. Okay, so first of all we're going to create organization, and then we are going to create a project and repositories, and we are going to see all these things in action now. Okay, so now we already have one organization, cloud institution org. I'm going to create another organization. So in the last video we have seen how to create how to create a new organization. Okay, so now we'll see again that how to create organization. Click on new organization. Okay, so once you create the Azure DevOps portal and click on new organization. Okay, so the gets continue with the organization. Okay, so the organization name, you can give any organization name. It's going to be cloud institution. Okay, so the demo org. Okay, so now I'm giving the cloud institution. Okay, and then demo org is what I'm giving. Okay, so it's asking me for the verification. V Y D G X probably. Okay, so now what's happening is that it's going to be creating your organization. Okay, so the organization is getting created. Okay, so now let's create the organization. Okay, as you can see here, we will create a first project. Okay, it's going to be project one, project one. Okay, so they create a project. Okay, now we have in the project. Okay, so now we can click on this organization in the top, and you can see the project one is created. Okay, now what we're going to do is that let's create a project two as well. Okay, so project two. Okay, description is not required, and then we can go and create it. No, you can also give the advanced version control. You can also use Git. Okay, so but this is not highly used. So we can see project one and project two is getting created now. So as you can see here, what we have done, we have created a project one, and then project two has got created. Okay, so what are we going to do today is that we're going to create a repository. Okay, repository is nothing but, okay, is the, as you can see here. Okay, so let's see what is the Azure DevOps project repositories. In Azure DevOps, repositories and repos are the key part of Azure DevOps platforms, providing a way of way for terms to manage the version their code. Okay, and then it's the version control tool suits similar to GitHub. Okay, it helps to track changes and collaborate and maintain a history of the code changes. Just okay, so it's nothing but the Git repository, right? So we can, it's nothing but the Git repository, and it also contains the pipelines and boards, and it's a combination of the entire suite. Okay, so we also discussed this particular concept in the introduction, like so what are the different tools are there. Okay, now we are going to create a repository. Okay, you can click on repository. Now there is no repository is got created. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to create a repository. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now as you can see here, the project 2 is already created. Okay, now if you can just initialize this particular uh, particular project. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on new repository. Okay, so you can click on repositories and click on new repository. Okay, so I'm going to do is that so repo. Okay, it's the cloud institution repo one probably. Okay, cloud institution. Okay, so cloud institution repo 1. Okay, so I'm just creating add with the readme file. Now, as you can see here, so there are two project is one repos is created. So one repo is created, with the with the project whenever we created, but we can also delete this one, right? So now we have created a one project, one repository. It's called cloud institution repo. Okay, so now to create another repository, create another repository institution. Okay, repo -2. Okay, now I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to create a repository. Okay, now what you have done here. Okay, we have created organization and created a project one, and under that we have created two repositories. Okay, so how to switch between the repositories? You can go here. Okay, now I'm in repository 2, and now if you want to repository 1, you can click on repository 1. So it will it will go to the repository. Okay, you can also add files, so how to add files and how to add folder and how to upload the folders and all these things we can see in the next videos. Okay, now this is how we'll be switching between the repositories, right? Now let's go back to the organization, and now we will go back to the project 2. Okay, so in the project 2 you go to repositories. Okay, so I think we have created a repositories in the project 2 probably. So now let's go back to the project 1. All right, okay, now we are in the project 1, and similarly we can also create the projects. Okay, so new repository, and then repository project repo 1, and okay, and here again we are going to create a repository and repository 2, repo 2. Okay, so cloud institution report 2. Okay, now we have created this particular structure. Okay, we created a git organization, and after that we created a project 1 and project 2, and then repository 1 and repository 2. Okay, and then project 2 we have created repository 1 and repository 2. All right, if you want to add some files and folders, what we can do, we can go back to the repository. You can click on here. Okay, so you can click on new, and then files, and then click on test.txt, then create it here, and you can click on commit. Okay, so the file will be added it over here. Okay, so this is how we'll be able to add some files and folders, so all these things in the repositories. Okay, so hope you understand this particular video. Okay, so if you have more questions on this video, please leave your question in the comments below. So in the next video we're going to see another interesting topics on the Azure DevOps. Okay, on the how to how to add files and how to add folders and all this kind of a basic information we are going to see in the next video. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and stay tuned for the rest of the videos.